It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
No fear, no fear, no fear here, and declare your independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, in the lovely studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. We're going to get right to it today. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. For the first three segments, we're going to have Lee Wrights. Lee Wrights is running for president as a Libertarian for the nomination. And anybody that's been involved in the Libertarian Party activism, well, I'm not sure those go together. But anyway, it's the Libertarian Party, is that Lee Wrights is publisher also of libertyforall.net, and he's been involved. He's been on the LNC, Libertarian National Committee, several times, and the campaign manager for Mary Ruwart in her effort to stop Bob Barr back in '08. And, right at the last minute she gets in, they went, for it, went to 6 ballots before Barr teamed up with Root to pull it out. And now we got, Wayne Allen Root War to deal with, and his run for the presidency, the nomination for the Libertarian Party. Now, War just came out and sided with Mubarak as a Libertarian. Yeah, we need these puppet governments, that's in support of the United States foreign policy in Israel. We got to be on board with that. Well, Lee Wrights came out and he wrote an article, and we had it up on Freedom's Phoenix, and it was, "Who rules Egypt is none of our business." I mean, I go even a step further. Can we vote no rulers? So let's go ahead and talk to Lee Wrights. Welcome to the show, Lee.
Thanks, Ernie. It's always great to be with you. The best lead-in music in radio.
Yep. We're not afraid. I want to make sure that we get an understanding of what's really going on, because I'll tell you, this is a perspective that I want you to share with us. We have an idea, a simple one, and it'll include different things, but the main thrust is to get into the minds of the Arabic culture, the Arabic community, the Arabic-speaking youth, that this battle is against the very same exact people that we are in battle with. And I'm going, look, it's all this central banking, central planning, we will rule you because we got bigger guns, people. And I'm going,
rulers.
If we can get into their hands, some artwork like the flower guy, not throwing a Molotov cocktail like they're starting to do over there, but throwing a bouquet of flowers is all about the love. And in Arabic, it says, "We know the truth." And we have the philosophy of liberty. I encourage everybody that's in the audience, if you haven't seen it yet, Google the philosophy of liberty, and it'll come up. It's like a 7-8 minute flash animation that has been translated into over 100 languages, but not Arabic. And I'm going, really? What the heck are you guys thinking? So they're like, well, you got volunteers and the guy in Moscow that does this and the translating he's coming back, but $1,000 to get him motivated. I'm in for a third. So I got $333 to say, here, man, make it go work. So they're doing that. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of the weekend. We will send on DVD to Egypt and getting as many addresses as we can. I want one out of you, man. You find somebody in freaking Cairo, okay? You give me one address. So we're in getting the Libertarian Party, and they act, oh, yeah, that's a good idea, and we'll see about what, not a single address from them. The activists, you know what you should do? What you should do is get me one single freaking address. You're sitting in front of your keyboard, and you can't give me a single address? I mean, yeah, I can do this. We're doing it. It's going to happen. But I'm like, if you can't get me a single freaking address, what the hell good are you people? I'm so sick of this armchair quarterback and activism, and they never actually do anything. Well, now we have Lee Wrights running for president, and he writes this article about our foreign policy in Egypt. And I want to give you, the next few minutes in this segment. Give me a summary of it, man. Go.
Well, it's easy. Leave them alone. Mind your own business. Why are so many countries angry with us now? Why do we have the problems that we have? It's because we've been monkeying in other people's business for decades. Americans' foreign policy is disastrous in this area, and it has bred nothing but resentment and hatred, not for the American people, but for the government. These people are smart like Americans are. They know that this is the ruling class doing this to us all across the board. We don't have to get into the minds of the Egyptian people. They're human beings. They want to be free, just like everybody else. They just want to be free. They're not marching against America. They're not marching against Israel. It's Christians and Muslims standing up together saying, we want to be left alone. We want to be free.
And this
is different now. What's different with this than what was going on in this country in 1770, 1771? People just want to be free.
I'm wondering how we're going to do we have any responsibility to helping or an obligation? I mean, I don't really think so. I just soon, am I allowed not to care? But, when you got your own government coming over and they're saying, we're going to use your money in support of Mubarak. It doesn't matter whether you're Obama or Bush. They don't care. Same people, same stuff, same thing. And they're going to use my money in order to oppress, murder, and kill people that just want to be left alone. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have something to say about that. I send a DVD over, a couple hundred, few thousand, that just says, let me tell you what this is about. It's about self-ownership. We inject the Arabic culture with that concept. Man, it's all over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't really have to inject it so much. Just had to point it out to them. They're already there, Ernie.
I think so.
Like any other human beings, they just want to be free. And if you reveal to them that I heard you talking to Glenn yesterday, and he according to what he said, he went through the same kind of transition. That this veil was lifted from his eyes when he began to grasp that concept of self-ownership. All rights are based on property rights of some sort because they belong to you and it can't be taken away.
Okay, I want to, well, certainly when we come back, you kind of start us off, but I tell you one of the main things that I was encouraged having you on. You were in Phoenix just last weekend, and there's a story of what was going on behind the scenes I'll share in the next hour. But also in the next hour, we're going to have the coordinator for Porcfest in New Hampshire. We're going to spend a couple of segments with them on how that's going. I tell you, this wallet voting thing has taken off, and I want to share with you later in the show what's going on with that. But the one thing that I want to make sure that we get to, and we come back after this first segment, is that the Libertarian Party, the third largest party in the United States, is it known around the world? Known as what? Known to represent what? They understand who we are from what? Well, one of the things that we're getting from Lee is hopefully an understanding of what it means to be libertarian. Well, you're in opposition all over the board, by other people that want to use this large block of influence to further their own ends. And I want to know what ends is it that you're hoping to further with your effort to seek the nomination for Libertarian Party?
I'll be ready.
All right. When we come back, we'll go ahead and get right to that, because my whole point for having Lee on, I saw his article, Egypt. What role does the LP play in all of this, and what role should the U.S. foreign policy play in this? And Egypt is just an example. It is the pop culture center of the entire Arabic-speaking world. That's where all their movies and music and everything comes out of. That's where the battle's going to be won and or lost. We'll talk about it more when we come back here on Declare Your Independence with Lee Wrights.